Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to go ahead and be honest with all of you here. Earlier this morning, President Trump, while speaking live on the air on Fox News, almost slipped up and let the cat out of the bag. President Trump almost said, before catching himself live on air, that Barack Hussein Obama, our former president, is guilty of giving nuclear weapons effectively to the Iranian regime. Seriously, I've got an audio clip I want you to listen to. Then we are going to break all of this down. This is a big story, folks. Take a listen to this.
But if you look, for 47 years, they've been tapping people along, presidents. Every president got tapped along, didn't do anything, and they became more and more powerful. This should have been done 47 years ago. Shouldn't have been allowed to start. But Clinton let him go, and Bush let him go. Everybody let him go, and Obama was the worst of all because Obama actually went to their side. Obama, because, you know, he's a, well, let's not say, let's leave that for another time. He was terrible. And he allowed Iran to, but he gave them $1.7 billion in cash, in green cash, put in satchels in an airplane and brought to Iran. $1.7 billion. Do you know what that is? Did you ever see $1 million in cash? This is $1.7 billion. It took up an entire Boeing 757, and they flew it to Tehran, and they gave it to people that were waiting at a plane. Can you imagine these people? They never saw money, and now all of a sudden they've got $1.7 billion in cash, and he gave them hundreds of billions of dollars in cash and everything else, and he went to their side, and because of that, they became much more powerful because of Obama. And Biden, who was the vice president, but he probably had nothing to say because he was not such a stupid person.
And, you know, in Biden's defense, I suppose that's probably true. But folks, did you catch that? About halfway through that clip there, President Trump said that Obama went to their side, referring to Iran. And then he catches himself before he reveals some information that might be classified about Obama that he maybe is not supposed to say. And he says, you know what? Well, that's a big deal. Let's save that for another time, is what he said. Folks, Trump has been preparing the public for the massive reveal of world-altering information pertaining to Obama and Obama's relationship with the Iranian regime. It says here, one day Trump will reveal to the world that Obama is Muslim and a traitor to the United States who helped supply Iran with the means with which to obtain nuclear weapons. Okay, what exactly are we talking about? Well, for those of you that have either been tuning into this show, you've been around a long time, it doesn't take a lot of detective work to figure out here that Trump is almost certainly, almost positively referring to the now infamous Uranium One deal, is what it's called, that took place in 2010, which Trump has actually called out numerous times in the past, directly calling out Hillary Clinton as well as Barack Obama for giving 20% of our American uranium to Russia. This is a matter of fact, allegedly under the agreement that the Russians would then give much of that uranium, American uranium, to the Iranian regime. You see, the Iranian regime's highly enriched uranium, otherwise known as nuclear dust, as Trump calls it, is pretty much the key here that unlocks all of this. Have you ever wondered why Trump is so insistent? He's hell-bent on getting a hold of the nuclear dust. Right now, it's buried deep in some Iranian bunker. We blew the living hell out of it. Trump says, we are getting that back. This is not a negotiation. We will get that Iranian nuclear dust one way or another. Well, it's because this is the key to all of this. As many of you know, uranium carries an isotopic signature that can then be traced directly back to its geographic origin. Exactly where on this planet did it come from? Which mine? Which uranium mine? Where did it come from? Did it come from Russia? We will know. Did it come from China? We're going to know. Did it come from the United States of America? We will know. And so once we get a hold of the Iranian regime's uranium, we will know exactly where it came from. I want to show you something here. Trump has spoken. I've got 4 different clips here. You don't believe me? We're not going to listen to all of them, but have you noticed how over the last 12 months or so, every single time Trump talks about the Iranian nuclear dust, how does he refer to it? He says that we're going to be getting it back. Trump says over and over again that we're going to be bringing the uranium back when he talks about the Iranian regime's uranium, the nuclear dust. I don't think that's an accident. What seems to be the case is that Trump is telling us, sort of wink, wink here, that the Iranian regime's uranium, their nuclear dust, actually used to be ours, and that Obama gave it to them in a roundabout way. We're going to be bringing it back. So, folks, here's the deal. If any uranium in Iran is found, as a matter of fact, to have originated from the United States of America, as Trump has hinted numerous times, time and time again, guess what? Obama, Hillary Clinton, and perhaps the entire Obama-era administration, guess what? They would be guilty of treason for supplying materials with which to make WMDs, weapons of mass destruction, to the Iranian regime. What's more, there's also no way that a crime of this magnitude or severity, a betrayal to this country, could be tried in a civilian court. No, it would have to be handled by the military via a military tribunal, as is customary. Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton in front of a military tribunal being tried for treason to the American Republic. Folks, that is what President Trump is talking about. Also, keep in mind here, think back through recent American history. It was shortly after allegedly giving the Iranian regime our American uranium. What did Obama then do? Obama signed the absolutely terrible and now infamous JCPOA, the nuclear deal, the infamous Obama nuclear deal with the Iranians, which was pretty much nothing more than a deal that gave the Iranian regime 15 years and approximately $1.2 trillion worth of sanctions relief to further stockpile weapons, drones, missiles, bombs, naval mines, and time with which to bunker themselves into all of their hillsides. Just to keep on digging out bunkers and stockpiling weapons, a 15-year time frame, at the end of which, after the 15-year sunset clause had kicked in, that's right, the JCPOA had a 15-year sunset clause, the Iranians would have been able to continue pursuing nuclear weapons with absolutely zero restrictions whatsoever. It kind of makes you think, doesn't it? It's almost like this was all part of Obama's plan to help the Iranians, one, acquire uranium with which they could enrich it and make nuclear weapons, and two, give them enough time and money to properly make use of it. But here's what I'll tell you. You can be certain that President Trump knows everything there is to know about all of this, and that soon, it won't be long before we ultimately do get a hold of the Iranian regime's enriched uranium. We're going to bring it back here to the U.S. and conduct this isotopic testing, determining exactly where it came from, and then at which point all of this stuff will be publicly exposed. And this explains why Trump, he's so hell-bent on getting a hold of that uranium, folks. Justice is coming. America